Huh. Where winds meet. I've been seeing this game a lot recently. I've known about this game ever since they announced it before it even came out in China. But I guess since now they actually got like a release date here, some people have gotten to play it, There's a lot of people giving their thoughts on it. So that's really cool. I've been waiting on it for a while. Oh god, I remember this shit. The iconic stick scene from Kick-Ass 2. That movie's so stupid. Hold on, let me fix my camera. Yeah, let me make sure it's good. Yeah. Go down more. Maybe not that much. I don't know. There we go. Interesting. I'll pull up the chat real quick. All right, cool. Actually, let's change. Reacting to stuff and gaming. There we go. Because I might play a game in a minute. We'll see. All right. What do we want to look at? It's actually Where Winds Meet. Isn't what you think. Open world RPG. Yeah, I know it was an open world. It's an open world action RPG. Features. We can watch this new. I haven't seen this trailer yet. I'll turn that up just a little bit. Yeah, very beautiful looking game. Looks good. Explore Where Winds Meet. And stunning 4K. But what if it isn't 8K? I want 8K. Otherwise it looks like shit. I also forgot to mention this is a free-to-play single-player game. And from what I've heard, it's very well regarded already. Because it came out in China before. So people like the game. .3D audio. I wasn't expecting the features to be stuff like that. I was expecting it to be like gameplay stuff, but I guess that's cool. I mean, you could argue that it kind of is, but not in the way I thought. I was thinking like game mechanics, but that's cool. Yeah, game looks incredible. Oh, man. Lost Soul aside. Lost Soul aside, man. Little background behind this game. I don't know everything about it, but game started out as a one-person team, just making something he wanted to make, I guess. And you could tell the game's kind of influenced by Final Fantasy 15. I mean, the game was literally shown, I think, before Final Fantasy 15 even came out. And even back then, for one person, it looked really impressive. And then, from what I understand, Sony saw it and was really impressed. So they gave the guy like a team and a budget, I guess. I don't know what the budget was, but he gave the guy a team to actually like fully make the game. That's why it's PlayStation only. Sony owns it. And that was like 9 years ago. Like whenever he started this shit, or at least like showed it off for the first time. This is a long time coming. I don't think I've seen this trailer.
对，那个时候，其实这个项目最早的时候已经可以追溯到2014年了。
Yeah, 2014. God,
当时其实
11 years ago.
一个个人的爱好，因为我个人比较喜欢比较快节奏的、比较流畅的这种战斗的游戏。想把自己脑子里边的那个东西一点点的还原出来。我是杨斌，我是《失落之魂》的制作人。
Yeah. It looks so good, dude. When you look back at the old gameplay, you could like the first trailer and even what they showed like just a couple years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, you could tell it's come a long way, especially from that first trailer. You could tell it was like super early. It looks incredible now. It looks so good. It was kind of irritating because just like 2 or 3 years ago, there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, I was excited for this game, but now it's starting to look out of date." I just hate that mindset. I think that's a really dumb mindset to look at games by only looking at them for their like production value and not for what their mechanics can do. It's just so like it's so shallow minded in my opinion. You know, you look at something that just has like really good presentation and you go, "Yeah, that's the quality of the game." Rather than just going, "Okay, I'm seeing him do this thing. That's a really interesting mechanic and this thing looks really cool here." Which by the way, the game already looks a lot better than it did from when people were saying that. So I don't know. It was really dumb comments in my opinion. I hate that shit. This game looks incredible.
当时我需要一边学习一边
Yeah,
制
look
作，
at this
后
early.
来做出了最早的时候大家看到的那个 demo。在刚把预告片发到网上的时候，我没有想很多，结果没想到我的邮箱马上被各种各样的邮件塞满了。之后我的邮箱里收到了一个索尼互娱的同事发过来的邀请，我当时很震惊也很兴奋，立刻回复了他。就此，我与索尼互娱的同事建立了联系，也是从那个时候开始，和索尼互娱包括中国之星计划建立了最开始的接触，成为了后面深度合作的契机。
I really hope this game sells well because you can tell this guy is really passionate about this. It, dude, it looks so good too. I hope it sells well because that means we could probably get more projects from this studio. Because I swear to God, Sony would have never done something like that nowadays. They wouldn't have saw a project like this and emailed the guy and said, "Hey, we'll fund it" or whatever.
刚好10年前，我们决定在中国开始 PlayStation 业务的时候，我们决
10
定
years
做的方向是建立一个中国的主机游戏的生态。中国之星计划是鼓励中小型的开发团队去开发高品质的游戏。
I think that's smart. To have smaller teams working on games like this. Yeah, it could take a long time for them to be made. But the thing is, you could communicate with the other people much more efficiently than when you have a team of like 1,000 people. You could have a much more like focused experience. There's exceptions to this, of course. You know, people are always going to love stuff like Red Dead Redemption and GTA, which do have a ton of people working on them. So, of course, there's exceptions to this, but I think generally that's how you should be doing it, especially when there's not a lot of people that you think are going to be buying your games.
会提供给到中国开发者们各方面的资源，来帮助他们开发出更好的游戏。
最初最吸引我们的，或者说到现在为止仍然很吸引我们的是这个团队的热情和他们的专业程度。那么同时呢，这个项目从项目的层面来看呢，他们的美术呢
Yeah, dude, the art in this looks so amazing.
老师呢他自己也是在这方面的专业。那么我们
Yeah, a lot of talent.
还希望呢能够帮助
That artwork looks incredible.
能够更上一层。
See, dude, I pre-ordered this when I was pre-ordering this game, the physical copy at GameStop. I literally told the guy, I was like, "Bro, this game could suck and I still have to get it because I've been waiting so long." Like, I think it was last year. I finally I kind of just told myself this game's never coming out. I was like, I'm just gonna come into acceptance of it. This game will never come out because it's been so long. And then now this year it's finally out. It's coming out in like a week, not even, I don't think.
会花很长的时间让团队能够在不同的理念碰撞下
It's the
交流，
29th it comes out.
最终做出大家都满意的作品。比如我们的美术同事，他创作了一个新的概念设计、新的原画。
God, it looks so
当我
beautiful.
看到的时候，觉得这其实是我没有想到的东西。这东西它是一种惊喜。我也逐渐意识到，我们的项目已经突破了我个人的能力上限，项目成为了一个团队的作品。我们在不断突破团队的上限。从开 开始到现在，我一直觉得我们的游戏最大的特色就是流畅爽快的战斗，这也是我自己最喜欢的部分。
我们的战斗设计呢，是主打爽快战斗类的，和猎天使魔女鬼泣这种都属于是 hack and slash 这类。
Yeah, and I love Devil May Cry and Bayonetta.
我是这样觉得的，我们自己在
Especially Devil May Cry.
因为给了更高度的自由度。
像我们主角有
I also really appreciate that it doesn't just look like a carbon copy of those. It actually looks like its own thing. It's clearly the same type of genre.
非常多的武器，总共有4种武器，这4种武器每一种都可以进行互相的配合，打出非常华丽的一种连招。
也有很多种像火、雷、冰这种元素的类型。剑的攻击里会挥舞出火焰来，这个我觉得是很酷的。
Yeah, that looks sick.
整个上手的打击感也非常的棒，这就归功于我们的动画、我们的战斗设计以及我们的音效各方面的一个通力合作。
为此，我们实际上克服了很多困难，所有的设计都是围绕着战斗的流畅度展开。
I think the only thing I'm worried about is there's a gameplay principle that I kind of like to live by. And I think a lot of people agree with this, is that limitations in gameplay is actually what makes games fun. And what I mean by this is take like original Castlevania, right? You have to kind of commit to your actions. It's a limitation, right? You have to commit to your whip a little bit. You have to commit to your jump, where you jump, when you jump forward, you have to stay jumping forward. It's not to say that games that don't have these limitations aren't bad, but you have to really build your game around these limitations, you can't just put the movement of Castlevania and throw it into Mario, but at the same, it just wouldn't work. It would be fucking impossible. But you also can't put the movement of Mario and put it into Castlevania, because it would make it booty ass easy. It would just break the game. You need some kind of you need to make sure that the game itself is built around whatever systems you're giving it. So if you're making it to where you could just cancel any move into any action, there's nothing wrong with that, but I hope that there's certain limitations that make it to where the game is still relatively difficult. And I don't mean difficult in a bullet spongy type of way where you're just doing a million damage combo and they're half damage health, half health.
中有一个理念，就是尽可能塑造形态各异的种类，让玩家可以体验到人形的、野兽的、巨大的或者小
God, it looks so crazy.
敏捷类的，也有力量型的。我们希望玩家在这个过程中一直有比较新鲜的体验，不一样的体验。不光是战斗系统，在场景的设计上，我们也希望给玩家一场像旅行一样的体验。所以我们塑造了风格形态各异的场景，让玩家能够在各种风格、各种环境、各种天气下进行冒险。
The variety in its design is absolutely beautiful.
关卡它的主题的时候，更倾向于去做一些奇观，以这个围绕着奇观构建来做一些关卡的设计。
在《失落之魂》游戏中有太多的场景等着你去探索，在此基础上能给玩家的意外惊喜就是，其实它还有很多摇滚音乐或者是金属音乐、电子音乐的元素。当你进入那个世界的时候，所有的音乐突然就变了，这种音乐让你感到哇。
Dude, listen to that music. So I'm guessing they're really trying to match the music with the setting that you go to. So the music is going to be very diverse. See, that's the DEI I like. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We include all the music.
只是作为一个平凡的人去做一些不平凡的事。
Arena 是属于在上古时期，就是一直在遗迹里沉浸的一个巨兽。那它机缘巧合下，就是寄生在 卡泽尔的体内，产生了这种共生的关系。
整个《失落之魂》的故事也围绕着这两个角色展开。他们怎么相遇？他们怎么一起去
Yeah, they're doing like a Venom Eddie Brock thing. It's cool.
解决不光是他们，还有他们的家人，还有整个人类所面对的危机。《失落之魂》就是一个这样的故事。
有些无论战斗呀、感受啊、氛围啊，我感觉都挺棒的，就会倾注于自己的很多一些心血在里面嘛。
就是在我们项目，就是大家热情都非常高，就是非常的负责任。这份工作也是让我对游戏设计充满了热爱。
在《失落之魂》正式发行之后，当然最大的期望还是我们塑造的游戏体验是能够让玩家满意的，能让玩家觉得这么多年的等待也是值得的。
God, I hope
所以
so.
呢，我现
I hope all those years of being excited for this game are worth it. You know, it would really suck if I played the game and I'd be like, it's mid, it's not that good, or it's bad. God forbid it's bad, right? I don't think it's gonna be bad, but I am afraid it might be mid. But I don't think it's gonna be mid, but that's just a fear, you know. I've had games where I was very confident I would like them, and then I played them and I was like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Even after putting a bunch of hours into it, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it because of this and this and this. I don't like these things.
在中国之星新入选的很多项目，好几个的制作人都是受杨斌的影响，才投身游戏开发。我觉得这是一个非常好的闭环，就是杨斌老师在某种程度上其实是带动了一部分中国这个游戏开发的这个产业的发展。
这个游戏的成功研发代表了 PlayStation 中国之星计划项目的精神。从一个人的游戏开发者到与 SIE 及所有的合作伙伴们携手，共同面对环境与市场变化，克服各种困难，最终打磨出一部好的作品。
I really hope Sony makes more games like this. Assuming this one is good, right? I hope they put more into like these smaller teams that could actually make really good projects, because they really need to be putting out more games. This whole console generation hasn't really been the best for them. I wouldn't say it's as bad as like, it's not the worst era we've ever had for consoles, but in terms of its exclusives and stuff like that, it's been very lackluster. I can't think of very many that I've played that weren't also on the PS4, right? Like not very many.
这是 PlayStation 一直以来希望为创作者
Concord
家们带来的一个连接。
坚持到现在，首先是感谢所有的粉丝和玩家一直以来给我的鼓励和支持，让我不管在这个
God,
过
this
程
looks
中
so
经历了什
good.
么样的困难，都能够坚持到现在。
God, this still looks so good. August 29th. What day is it? The 24th? It's 25th. God, just a couple days. Yeah, I get paid, and I've already got like half paid off, so I just got to go pay the rest of it. But it looks so good. I've been waiting for this game for literally a decade. Now it's only a week away. It almost feels like a dream. Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy? Props to Sony for not giving up on this man's dream. Usually companies end up canceling such projects. Yeah. That would fucking suck, right? I really hope this game, I hope it does well. Noctis's journey. Yeah, that's who he was like designed off of. He was designed off of like Noctis. Obviously he looks a little different, but that was like kind of the inspiration for like this game was Final Fantasy 15, which you could see. I mean, you could see the fucking inspiration. Actually, I could just go to Google. I don't need to pull up any videos. Right? Like, obviously a little different, but you could see the inspiration here. Oh, yeah. He looks a little bit more like a 3D Sasuke, but yeah, look at that. Look at that, all the blue and everything. And I love Final Fantasy 15. Not a perfect game by any means. It's got some issues, but I love this game. Definitely not even really the same kind of game though. This will be more like an action game. Maybe some RPG elements. I have no idea if it will or not. As long as it doesn't get in the way of the actual gameplay, then I'm fine with that. What the fuck is this? Free waifu game? God of War, RD, Red Dead Redemption, Tomb Raider, and more. What's the waifu game, huh? You gonna tell me? You gonna tell me, eh? Look at them titties. Alright. The Blood of Dawnwalker. This game looks so good. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna go and end the stream. I actually gotta go to bed soon. Y'all have a good night.